Hey everybody, welcome back to the stream. My name is SwiftUI Developer and I make apps live on stream. This season, season 3, we've been working on a to-do app in SwiftUI and it's gone through quite a few evolutions. Here on the iPad here, we have the designs we've been working with. Here I was sketching out the zoom level of, you sort of see a back view of your past entries and the storylines that they're a part of. And today I wanted to work on the storylines UI. So after we make an entry, we want to associate it with some storylines, and then eventually we'll see those back here on the main view, all connected and all lined up, so you can track how the different parts of your lives go together. So let's see what we have right now. Yeah, so this is the the current version of the storylines. No lines or anything set up yet, just the past 3 days, and we have one entry. And we have the storylines button, which currently does nothing, and that's going to be our focus for today. For example, going to stream today. One storyline would be like my stream, like SwiftUI Developer. Another storyline would be like productivity, trying to figure out how to record and do things. And another storyline might be like the name of this app, the queue. um, yeah, so that's what we have so far. So let's see. So I guess we're going to have a storylines view. We need to make it and find a way to get over there. So let's write that down as a task. Create the storyline screen and nav to it. Cool. So this is on, oh, we're on the screen that it's on. It's the story mark screen. And yeah, I think story mark needs to be renamed. Not sure if that's a great name for it. Like maybe just like entry might be better. But that's what it's called for right now. And we have the button right here, currently not doing anything. So perhaps this will be a popover. We'll save it in a Boolean state. And we'll start it off as false. And when we push the button, we just want to set this to true. Cool. So that's all we need to set it up. Now we need to make this screen. How exciting can we be? Can we just put it right here? Over is presented. Dollar is presented storyline screen content. Some text in here for now. Hello. Cool. It's there. So I guess all we need to do now is actually create this screen. Where should we put that? I guess we'll put it as a subfolder of here for now. I guess we'll call that the storyline select screen. import SwiftUI. I guess we'll just leave it there for now, and then we'll say that this is what's presented. And I suppose we'll need to pass in the story ID or something so that the screen knows what to edit. But I guess we're not there quite yet. Or are we? Let's see, where's our loaded story? It's all the way up here. Like, yeah, I guess we can pass that down. Or at least pass the ID down. That'd probably be better. Something like that. And of course, this will need to receive it. And I guess up here, we'll need to pass it on in. Yeah, it's like a huge, well, it's not huge yet, but it's a growing object. So I think I just want to pass the ID around. And of course, like with all things, we can always change that. So let's load it from the database. And now we can have the actual view here. Let's see, let's swap back to the iPad. Yeah, so I had like kind of two ideas. One would be kind of like a list of storylines, and the other one being kind of a grid of storylines to associate. And depending on how long these are, I feel like the grid might make better use of space, especially when we get onto the iPad or the Mac. For now, just the lines are probably okay. The one on the left here. Yeah, but let's start with the grid idea. Then I guess we'll have like what's this going to be, like a storyline card? It's like the main story and its parents. I'm thinking that like a storyline will at least be able to have one each and we'll have at least one parent. So it's sort of a bigger story that it's a part of. Now I don't know how many deep to allow in this app. I think like 10. 10 is too many, right? One feels good. Maybe two. I think to get started, let's start with just two, and we can kind of expand from there if that's where the roads take us. I really want to get started using this. So really looking for doing kind of simple things. I mean, I guess the simplest thing would be here on the left. Uh, but I do know I have like sub storylines that I want to keep track of. And I guess they're kind of like tags, but I guess maybe not exactly either. Yeah, so like under full queue developer, we would also have like Flash live stream, right? Like that's a part of what live full queue developer does. Then there's like different apps um, that I work on. It could be like app slash the queue. Yeah, let's get a preview going. Let's see what this is looking like. I guess we're not loading anything yet. Yeah, let's hold off on that. Let's just focus on sketching out how this might look like. Okay, let's just pass in a random UUID, I guess. Hope you all are having a relaxing weekend. Let's see. So yeah, we want some borders around this stuff. I'm gonna make like a subview called card just to make this easier to have everything sort of have the same views. Let's have text. And it's not exactly a string, it's this fancy thing called a localized string key. Yeah, so if we do this, we should see no changes. Oh, once whatever. I want this out in front. And okay, Xcode caught up to itself. That's great. Okay, so now let's put a border. Let's just go with red for now. Yeah, so if these are the names, and this is like a sub storyline of this, then or is everything just a top level storyline? Are they really just tags? Or do they have folders? Yeah, I guess we don't need folders to get started. I guess I've just always imagined this view with folders. Anyway, this grid is not gridding. Let's see, what do we need to do? What's it not called if it's not called lazy grid? Lazy V grid? Columns, so we're going to have 2. And we already have a content. This. There we go. Now we got some stuff going. We want this to take up the full width. I think we say like dot infinity down here is how we do it. Okay. Yes, let's put padding on the outside of this. And what other storylines might we have? Oh, it needs the quote. I have been trying to keep track of what I eat a little bit more. Now, is there a way to make these all be the same size? Look at the documentation here. Flexible. Yeah, so if we say grid item, multiple items in space of a single flexible item, fixed. That's not it. Let's see, what do we have? We got the documentation of this thing. So alignment, this is, yeah, leading, I guess. Going to be this twice. There we go. So these do not seem to be aligned to leading. Still not. We can make this H stack and put a spacer at the end. And we don't need this, perhaps. There we go. Yeah, if we keep them all to one line. There we go. And then we can make them all buttons and selectable, I suppose. Yeah, I want to make these rounded radius. Is there like a default one? What do I gotta do to get a corner radius? You can see it there, but it's clipping off the border. I put the border afterwards, and we don't get the rounded corner radius. Okay, let's see. Let's see what Google has to say. Let's see. SwiftUI border corner radius. Oh, it's just all of it together. Oh, okay. Extra argument. Oh my goodness. Form to shape style. Okay, so what is, what is a shape style then? Let's see. The documentation. Value that conforms to shape style like color, hierarchical shape style. Okay. So this does not match what that blog said. There's no rounding here. I'm going to make an overlay with a capsule. That seems a little silly. But I guess it worked. I need to specify a line width. Cool. Yeah, let's import the SF symbols. Yes, let's mark this as selected or not. This has nothing to do with eating, nothing to do with music. Yeah, so now we can say inside here, if it's selected, we'll do the filled circle. Otherwise, we'll do an empty circle. There we go. And then what we want to do is like on press, we want to toggle the selection perhaps. We also want to make a way to make new ones too. Let's wrap this in a navigation view so we can start testing out a toolbar and stuff like that. If I put a spacer at the bottom, will it go up? No, it won't. Okay. Do I need this all inside of a VStack for that to happen? There we go. So what else? We can start can adjust the colors of these. We can start getting these from the database, or we can start with like adding one in. Kind of a couple next steps we could go in. Let's see what it looks like in the app for now. I click on something, I want to associate some storylines with it. I get this. Oh, I don't get the navigation view. Whose responsibility is that? Perhaps it's the caller's responsibility to put it in the navigation view. And all it really does is give us a title right now. Yeah, these don't do anything quite yet. There's nothing nothing to do with it. Right now it's all a constant. Do we have fixtures for storylines? Where's all of our fixtures? Yeah, fixtures over here. I thought we had some fixtures somewhere. This is this is back when I called them stories. It's the same couple eating music, the app. Same couple stories. Yeah, I feel like a story is gonna end up being like more like an account, and it's gonna have a bunch of storylines in it. I guess that means each storyline needs to know which story it's a part of. And what is this called? Selectable color? Pickable color? Yeah, pickable color. I want to like predefine a few colors. Should I rename this to storyline? That might make the most sense. Yeah, I guess my models all have pretty bad names right now, and it's definitely confusing me. Let's see. Let's hop over to the iPad and think about this a little bit. Clear my keyboard out of the way. Where's some room? Guess there's some room over here. Let's see. So models. You have story. Story has one-to-many story entries. And an entry has, I guess this is many-to-many, right? Many-to-many. Storylines. And I guess the story also is one-to-many with storyline. And then I guess the current name for entry is, this app is usually pretty nice, but sometimes trying to zoom in or out, it just acts a little weird. I think you saw it jumping around a little bit. Come on, zoom in. Okay, so currently entry is named story mark. Currently storyline is named story, and story is currently named story map. And we also have things still in there from the first incarnation of this app. Yeah, so we should we should rename these things. I feel like entry though, I guess it's pretty descriptive. I guess I wanted something more like story sounding. Like chapter maybe sounds too broad. Paragraph is a little too specific. Yeah, let's brainstorm a little bit here. You make this thicker. What can we call this? What paragraph? Chapter, section, plot point. Ooh, plot point, that's pretty good. Plot entry. Yeah, because the story moves along by means of scenes. Ooh, scene is pretty good too. Like every time I make a new journal entry, but I don't want to call it a journal entry. I want to call it something a little bit more exciting. Because the point of this to-do app is that our to-dos are things that we want to change about our current story, like next steps we want to take. They're not just floating out in the middle of nowhere. It's just like do the laundry, like wash the dishes. Like that's yes, those are to-dos, but they come from the desire to have clean clothes, I suppose, for next time. Or like make this app. Um and some of the subtasks of making this app is like find a name for entry, and that's all it's all part of the story that's moving forward of this app coming together. Maybe I'm getting a little self-referential there. Sorry about that, but um, I am hoping to like use this app. Like this is how my brain works. Yeah, let's put it in. I'm gonna put it in black. Um, Entry that moves the story forward. Guess I'm kind of imagining that like yeah, like the current to do that we're to doing is like name rename journal entry, because what it does is it's something that's moved the story forward. The to do was rename journal entry, and the story, the plot point that was happening was we found that entry is maybe not the best name, so the to do is make a new name, and we're diving right into it of brainstorming some new names of what are things that move the story forward. So far, my favorites are plot entry, or sorry, plot point and scene. Scene does feel a little like theater driven. Maybe that's okay. Do stories have scenes? I guess they do. And sometimes it's like one scene per chapter, sometimes it's multiple scenes per chapter. But yeah, chapter does feel a little too broad. I think I'm okay with crossing out paragraph and chapter. Yeah, because each scene will potentially have multiple paragraphs. Anyway, we did create the storyline screen. Speaking of to-dos, right now we're renaming story entry. Plot point is like 2 words, and I mean, yeah, I mean, it is definitely supposed to sound like, come on, zoom out. It's supposed to sound like this. Like each of these are a plot point. Like they're literally a point that's plotted. So yeah, I guess I'm torn between those two right now. Plot point does match with the rest of the UI. Scene is 1 syllable. Yeah, let's try plot point out. Yeah, so let's do this rename. Okay, let's put the iPad to the side. Take a little sip. Yeah, coming back to as I'm like thinking through what's about to happen. Yeah, because these are like one to many, many to many, there's gonna have to be a join table or entry to storyline. And I think that's what storyline was originally supposed to be called. And we need, we need a new name for the relationship between a plot point and a storyline. Yeah, those are my favorite associations. Is when when you just don't call it plot point underscore storyline. Like those are the worst. Like what is that called? A categorization? A oh crap, we're back we're back to brainstorming. This what is the relationship between a plot point and a storyline? Oh, and we can delete this. Ooh, that was too much. Okay, this is plot point. Yeah, so the relationship between a storyline and a plot point is a what? Come on, scroll up. Oh, so if I draw down there, then I can scroll more. Okay, so now I can delete this. Guess you can only scroll just a little bit past where your current thing is. I thought it would be like infinite scroll, but it's infinite but slightly limited. Okay, so relationship between storyline and plot point is a what? Uh, categorization, a plotting? No, that's terrible. Can't even spell brainstorm. brainstorm categorization and plotting. Storyline and a plot point. I mean, I guess I called that one screen like storyline selection. Selection, categorization. Let's see. Let's check that the thesaurus. Option, collection, draft, election, pick, using excerpt. That's kind of sounds like a story. Identifying storylines. Ooh, catalog. That's pretty good. Let's write that here on the iPad. And let's check out the thesaurus for catalog. New tab, back to the thesaurus. Catalogui. Inventory list. Register. But yeah, my plot points have to do with multiple storylines, and that is a catalog. I feel like it needs to be like a storyline catalog, I guess. Yeah, I guess we'll go with I'm not showing the iPad again. I guess we'll go with storyline catalog. I don't like that one of the entities is in there already. Yeah, maybe we'll think of a better name later. I think that one's fine to keep moving for now. Yeah, so with a rename, I do want to commit because well, lots of reasons. Let's see, about to do renames, I guess will be the commit message. I guess we can say what we did. So we created storyline selection screen. Okay, so now let's do some renames. Cool. Yeah. So let's look at the where's the database stuff? Yeah, probably want to blow away all this stuff. At least before first launch or renaming stuff like crazy. Yeah, so this storyline is supposed to be storyline catalog, I guess. It's close, but it's not the one yet. Yeah, currently this is the many to many relationship. What could we call it instead? Hey, Bruce Leaf is in the chat. Good to see you. Hope you're having a relaxing Sunday. We were just doing some brainstorming about what to name some of our models. Because the current ones don't feel right. Like Story Mark, it's not that great. And we've got the iPad out for our sketching. I'm going to rename entry to plot point. Other ones with the next best one was scene, but I feel like that's just a little too theater driven for stories. And then what's it called? A many to many between a plot point and a storyline. Yeah, I guess to start off, story is going to be kind of like an account. Like maybe you'll have multiple accounts on this, or I don't know quite yet, but like a story has multiple storylines. Story has multiple plot points, and the plot points are organized into storylines, kind of like how I'm trying to pinch out on my trackpad on the over here. Like we'll have like a storyline that's progressing, and this one here is part of two different storylines: the yellow storyline and blue storyline. And of course, we'll have the action mode, which we haven't gotten to yet, but we do have a tab for at the bottom. Yeah, it doesn't do anything yet, but it's going to take all the to-dos from this next step section, which we haven't created yet. We're on the categorizing section. Yeah, the next step is going to be the actions that you want to take, or perhaps calendar events coming up. I think there's also going to be like a calendar tab down here. So you can see what your upcoming commitments are that you told yourself when you were writing your story. At Kilmer, hey, welcome. Says tomorrow I will start my job working with SwiftUI. So happy, winky face. Oh, congrats! Wishing you a successful job, successful transition to starting your job. I know the first 2 weeks of starting a job can feel so overwhelming, as there's so much to learn. Not even just learn, just absorb. Absorb a whole new organization's structure and their communication style and who's who and what's what and where's the documentation and where's the code. And we haven't even gotten to like the actual project yet. So wishing you a gentle transition. And we got some, what's a good word for these? I guess they're called metal horns traditionally, or rock on. Oh yeah, I remember what this is called. It's called a Petalia peg. And the story of that is Petalia is somewhere in Punjab. Petalia peg. Patilia peg. The story is that you're only supposed to have 2 fingers of alcohol because they were throwing lots of parties. So I think they meant 2 fingers, but people were like, actually, how about these 2 fingers? So that's why this is a measure of alcohol in Northwest India. Cool. So yeah, back to our current story of renaming. And what do we have in the database right now? We have storyline, story mark, and story. The story is supposed to be storyline. Let's do that one last because we have a couple other renames. So story marks, this is going to be plot point. And let's see where else we're using that. Story mark. So we have the actual model and code. We'll call this plot point. Rename the database table. Rename the extension that holds the fixtures. Rename the fixtures. And let's command B, see what else we need to fix. All kinds of stuff everywhere. Name, rename. Name, rename. This has to be skyline case. I guess they both look like skylines. Plot point looks like has 2 tall buildings, and plot point like this only has 1 tall building. Now let's just call this updated for now. Oops. Cool, a few more renames. Yep, that's true. Oh, was that the ID? It was. Okay. Point ID. Oh, I'm not being consistent. Let's see, let's hide this thing. Don't need it right now. Generic parameter C cannot be inferred. There needs to be a few more renames, I believe. I almost want to call it like plot point like this. Is that bad? I think so. I think it is 2 words, but I want to treat it like it's 1 word. Okay, so we're getting a compile error for this thing, so I guess it is time to update this. Rename, rename, rename. This is now the plot point query. Plot points. And what is your error? Oh, this here needs to be renamed. Yeah, I almost called plot point story point. But I'm glad I didn't. I like this. I like this name so far. Okay, I guess we haven't done the rename inside of there yet. Don't want to create it too many errors all at once, if possible. Kind of gently move it forward. Action bar. Oh, did I? What was this? Go change. Oh, somehow this got decapitalized. Hide change. This is now plot point ID. And I'm guessing this is because this is not compiling at the moment. Yep. Let's go in here and do the renames. Actually, I wonder if this with this database loader should go inside the screen instead of out here. But we'll do that another time. So this is copy. And are we building? A few more errors. But we are getting there. And another one. Okay, we are building again. Okay, let's see. Is there any more uses of story mark? There are. Yeah, I was thinking that like this, well, I guess for starters, we need to rename the screen. And we'll rename the file. update this extension name. And we'll hit Command B again. Nope, we still have another error. Yeah, this is the plot point screen. Build succeeded. Okay. There must be a few others. Yeah, this guy. So this is a view that loads something from the database and yields it down to its content. Great for just loading something with a ID, so that your view can just focus on rendering stuff. And we'll rename the file. Be in a few more places. Yeah, so let's move this inside. Oh, all this is like counting on that thing already being there. I guess that's why I did it from the outside. Oh, I see why I did it this way now. I'd have to make like another subview if I. Okay, let's put it back. But the point still stands of all the database loading is relegated to one. This wrapper view. Oh, this is the ID. Oh no, I forgot to. Let's see. In cool, can't see anything anymore. Probably a database error. I mean, we did do a lot of stuff without necessarily. I might have to like delete the app and restart it so that reinstall it to reset all the migrations and all that jazz. I also learned this past week that all that jazz means all that nonsense. Jazz used to mean nonsense or like things you can't understand. Let's see, any other uses of story mark? Well, so this query, we can update this. Oh, this looks so much better. Look at this. Plot points for date query. Like that's a good name. We'll go back to the search, find some more. Oh, here's in here's in the tests. Build succeeded, so let's find some more. Getting closer. So this is just the variable name. Then here we have, yeah, this is plot point ID. And then this is, I mean, it's a comment because we're going to need to load it for the screen. Cool, it's completely gone. Let's commit that. And of course, if you want this code, it's going to be kind of shared private source. Um, uh, for GitHub sponsors, this is going to be available. I'm still working on the price, so let me know what you think about that. If you go to my GitHub sponsors, you can subscribe to a tier to get access to this code if you want to sponsor the app. So as you can see, each week since I had this idea, I've been keeping each week's code all together so you can follow the progress of the app. Cool. So we did, guess we did this first rename. And I guess we don't want to have two things named storyline, so I guess this one has to come first. Yeah, still not really happy with storyline catalog for a name. It's just so long. Storyline log, 6 syllables, and it's not even that great. If it was short and not that great, that'd be one thing. It's like 3 words. Storyline. So it's already compound. Catalog. We could just call it map. It's going to be a bunch of, or story graph. It's going to be a bunch of plot points to the lines they're a part of. Actually, graph is pretty good. Story graph. At least it's shorter. At least it's fewer words. And graph. Anyone else is a computer science major? Ants. Yeah, it's a thing like this, which kind of matches This app is sometimes not responsive. Kind of matches what this view is. So yeah, let's try out StoryGraph for this name. Yeah, so these fixtures are useless right now. As before, I guess putting those here is what made me realize it's really time to rename. Oh, we didn't rename this file. Okay. Yeah, story map might die. Right now it's like the model for the main screen. I think that's okay to leave around for now. Don't want to get too caught up in doing renames all day, every day. Oh, this folder needs to rename. Build succeeded already. That's interesting. I mean, I guess I didn't start using this until like today or most recent time I've been working on this. I guess it's not that surprising. Ugh, I guess this should be maybe town case has one tall building and city case has two tall buildings. Yeah, I guess this should be town town case. Um yeah, nothing else needs to really change except for the capitalization. Okay, feeling a lot better about these names. So the storyline select screen, that is still called the storyline select screen. That's whoa, where'd the bottom bar go? The app certainly is acting weird. It does need to get deleted so their migrations get reset. So I'm not too worried about it right now. Let's see, that's okay, that's okay, that's okay. That's okay. Okay, I'll call that done. Rename story to storyline. This is the story. This is going to be all over the place. Okay, update the names here. Build succeeded already. Wow. Um, guess that's the nice thing about doing renames pretty early in the development process. Um, cool. Yeah. So let's force quit the app. Let's delete both of them, I guess. I don't even remember what this other one is. And then we will restart the app. And hopefully the migrations will go through. Yeah, so we deleted everything. So we're starting again from scratch. We'll say, gonna stream today. That's my plot point. And I can add a storyline, and we haven't set that up yet. But we've done those renames. So yeah, let's commit, and then let's get started on selecting these. Currently, this is all just hard-coded to get a feel for what it might look like. So we renamed storyline to story graph. Renamed story to storyline. So I guess how do we want to say this? Make the storyline selection screen work. Look up storyline selection screen. Yeah, once we get the storyline selection done, then we can add the next step section, which is going to feed into the to-dos, which is going to feed into like the act section of the app. Cool. That's this one. Close other tabs. Down path tried. I've been getting this error a few times, and I don't know what it means. I haven't really been able to find out what it is. I don't think it's something I'm doing, as far as I know. Let's try Googling it one more time. Last time I Googled this, I was not able to figure out what it meant either. Got the same issue, explained it all here. Yeah, not sure I follow that right now. I guess we've been going for a couple hours. Maybe I'll understand that better another time. I guess I'll mark this down. Something to look into. Now, see if I had my app done. I could drag it into here. And easily come back to it. So I guess we also want to look kind of get from the database from this screen. Also want to get like the current storylines that are there so we can show them in the grid. And then also show like a create button, I guess. Bar item group. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. So this navigates forward. This is a pop-up. And then if I do another pop-up here, it's going to be quite a few pop-ups. Maybe storylines should navigate forward too? Okay, well, let's take a break from. Let's take, let's take a quick few minute break and I'll be right back. And then we'll come back and we'll do the reading. And maybe we'll do some more and we'll take it from there. I'll be right back. Thank you so much for sticking around on your Sunday afternoon. Hey everybody, welcome back from the break. Yeah, one thing I've been thinking about as far as the stream goes is I feel like I can do like about an hour or two of like good coding and then like my brain just kind of stops working and then I need like a break. Like I was trying to parse what this person was saying here. It just like wasn't making sense to me. I'm like, "Oh man, I guess I guess I've hit my limit." But then like I'll take like a it'll be like after stream I'll like relax, I'll go for a walk, maybe I'll play some computer games, and then like, oh, I have another burst of energy for coding because like I really want to get this done. I really want to start using this. And I'm like, oh, but I want to I want to save it for the next stream on the following Sunday. So I guess long story short, I'm toying with doing a second stream on Sunday like later. Um which I guess is going to mess up my nice week commits. I guess they can all be part of the same week, Sunday being the last day of the week. Yeah, I guess that's okay. Um, yeah, so that's what I'm thinking about. And let's head over to the reading. Yeah, so every week we do a little bit of a reading from A Creative Act by Rick Rubin. And today's section is named Setting. He writes, "We're affected by our surroundings, and finding the best environment to create a clear channel is personal and to be tested." I think he means you have to experiment with it. It also depends on your intention. Isolated places like a forest, a monastery, or a sailboat in the middle of the ocean are fine locations to receive direct transmissions from the universe. If instead you want to tune into the collective consciousness, you might sit in a busy spot with people coming and going and experience Source as filtered through humanity. The second-hand approach is no less valid. One step further removed might be to plug into culture itself, constantly consuming art, entertainment, news, and social media, all the while noticing the patterns the universe is promoting. It's helpful to view currents in the culture without feeling obligated to follow the direction of their flow. Instead, notice them in the same connected, detached way you might notice a warm wind. Let yourself move within it, yet not be of it. He puts of in italics. One person's connected place may be another's distraction. Oh, I love that. And different environments may be right at different points in your artistic process. Andy Warhol was said to create with a television, radio, and record player all on simultaneously. Me watching Twitch with with music going and checking Instagram and TikTok. Yeah, I relate to that. For Eminem, the noise of a single TV set is his preferred backdrop for writing. Marcel Proust lined his walls with the sound-absorbing cork, closed the drapes, and wore earplugs. Okay, I know someone like that too. Kafka took his need for silence to an extreme. Not like a hermit, he once said, but like a dead man. There is no wrong way, there is only your way. It's not always easy to follow the subtle, energetic information the universe broadcasts, especially when your friends, family, coworkers, or those with a business interest in your creativity are offering seemingly rational advice that challenges your intuitive knowing. To the best of my ability, I've followed my intuition to make career turns and been recommended against doing so every time. It helps to realize that it's better to follow the universe than those around you. Interference may also come from the voices within, the ones in your head that murmur you're not talented enough, your idea isn't good enough, art isn't a worthwhile investment of your time, the result won't be well received, you're a failure if the creation isn't successful. It's helpful to turn those voices down so you can hear the chimes of the cosmic clock ring, reminding you it's time, your time to participate. Wow, that took a turn. Um, yeah, a lot of really neat things here. I mean, so he starts off by saying that like there's no right or wrong location to tune into the universe, like being around people or being alone or like reading books or social media or TV. Like these are all inputs, and they're all great. It's your own intuition, um, or what you want really. I try to say what you want, because I feel like it's a little bit easier to understand than saying intuition. Um, but I feel like it's not the best way to translate it. And then he talks about getting advice from coworkers, friends, and those with a business interest in your creativity. Um, and yeah, sometimes they're right and sometimes they're wrong. I guess one neat piece of advice I heard was um, don't take advice from someone you don't want to trade places with, or to put it positively, only take advice from people that you want to be where they are. Because someone who's not where you want to be giving you advice, they're just that's taking bad directions. It's going to get you to where they are, which is not where you want to be. So take advice from people who are where you want to be. But I do like how he takes it a step further of like sometimes you have a vision for where you want to be that no one else that you know has really done. Um and he's saying, yeah, just go ahead and do it. Um and the way he says it is you can hear the chimes of the cosmic clock ring reminding you it's time, your time to participate. And yeah, that the way he phrases that just gives me chills of yeah, sometimes there's voices that encourage you forward, like friends, coworkers, etc. And sometimes only thing you have is the chime of the cosmic clock ring reminding you it's time. Yeah, so wishing you all a regenerative weekend and wishing you peace in your creative pursuits this week. We're not even halfway done with the book. um Rudik's World says that's a huge book. That's Hug's book. Not exactly sure what you mean there. But yeah, I think I'm gonna pause the stream and take like a off stream break, and then I'm hoping that I'll have juice later tonight to do another stream, but I don't want to promise it. um but we did get let's see, let's come back to here. We did get a bunch done today. um we got in a bunch of commits, we did some renames, we did some brainstorming. Where's the iPad? Here it is. um and we started on the story selection screen, which we were mocking out earlier. And soon, soon, this will be up and ready to use on test flight. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, everybody. It's so much fun talking about creativity and sharing creativity with you all. In my chosen medium is iPhone apps. Thank you to the Twitch subs, Bruce Leaf, SPJPGRD, Gorks, and Lush Vino, and thank you to my GitHub sponsors, OX Leaf. You can find my Discord, etc., my Mastodon on fullqdeveloper.com. Redix World says the universe is chiming, I guess. Yes, thank you so much for all the chatting, all the follows and subscribes, and I will see you hopefully later tonight. But either way, 2 p.m. next Sunday. Hopefully right on the dot, 2 p.m. next Sunday. We'll be back with more. Yeah, thank you so much.